Hello friends. So in today's Q&A session, we'll be discussing about the queries that the SpeedBot users have shared. So apart from that, we'll be using some of the updates and we'll be understanding how the things work. So I think we are good to go. So let's kick off today's session. First of all, thank you for those who have tuned in to today's session. So before we take up the questions in today's Q&A session, let's start off what are things that we have launched in this particular segment. So we have a few updates that Team SpeedBot has launched this week. So let us understand what are those updates and how you can use it in your algo trading journey. So there is some exciting news for the people who are into option Greeks. So after discussing with a lot of traders, we understood that there is a need for algos that needs to be created using the option Greeks. So in this weekly update, we have launched the delta-based option selection whenever you are trying to build an algo in the option bot builder. So let us understand that first, how you can do it. So over here, as you can see, I'm logged into my SpeedBot account. If I go to the bots section, I'll click on all bots. So over here, I can just open up my option bot builder. Yeah, so over here, let us say that delta-based bot, option bot. So people who are new to Greeks, I won't be making you understand how the deltas or the vegas or the thetas work. Just to give you a context that you'll be able to select the contract in the options on the basis of the option Greeks, that is on the basis of delta. So over here, let's take an example of Bank Nifty. If I would like to create a delta neutral strategy for an algo, so I can be able to do it over here itself in my SpeedBot option bot builder. So let me just add it. So in the contract type, instead of the ATM, I'm having some of the delta based options over here. When I click on the drop down, like the delta, that is if I click over here, this basically means is that whenever the delta calculation of the delta is somewhere around 50, then the contract that is being traded at 50 delta or 0.5 delta, 0.5 delta will be shorting that call option. So that basically means it is somewhere around the ATM option. Apart from that, if you use the greater than, so in that case, that is if the delta is greater than 0.5 or 50, then we'll be selecting that particular contract. And likewise for the less than option. And let's say if you wish to have a range that is between a certain delta values, you'd like to select a contract. So you can define the range as well. So let's say if I wish to create a delta neutral option bot, so I'll be adding the 50 delta. And again, I'll be doing the same for the put side. Let me just rename it. And over here, instead of call, I'll just select the put option. So that's how I've created a delta neutral option bot. Now, let's say if I wish to add more conditions, more logic in this option bot, that is, if I wish to re-enter or re-execute this bot whenever my stop loss or targets get hit. So I'll be able to do that as well. So that is totally up to the trader's discretion. So this is one of the features that we have launched this week. Now, let's say if you have developed a bot on SpeedBot and you want to share it with your friends and family. In that case, you'll be able to export the bot and import it in another account. How you can do that? Let us understand that first. So let's say we'll take this as an example, that is the delta based option bot. We would like to export this particular bot and import it in some other account. So I'll save and continue over here. Now down there you'll be able to see an export strategy button. This button you'll be able to download the logic that is behind the option bot that you have developed. So if you click on this, your file will get downloaded like this. And let me just, in the same account, for instance, if I were using some other SpeedBot account and I would like to add the logic again, so the exported file will be imported over here in this particular bot, delta based option bot imported, and over here you'll be able to see the import strategy button. So I'll just browse the files from my side, and over here I'll select and I'll just name it as import delta bot. So that's how I've imported my bot over here. So let's say if you'd like to share your strategy logic or the bot logic, then you can use this import export feature. So this is another feature that we have launched in this week. Okay, so this was the latest features highlight that I would like to mention before we start off the questions. So let us take up a few questions. So Darshan has this question that can you please explain how we can use the trailing stop loss on leg level basis? Okay, so in order to mitigate the risk or manage the risk, it is important that we manage our stop losses as well. So in order to do that, let me just take this particular example. That is, I'll mention the stop loss over here in terms of maybe percentage. So let's say if I have a stop loss of 50% and over here I'm able to see the target and the trailing stop loss. So for trailing stop loss, the stop loss percentage needs to be necessary. It could be in terms of percentage or in points. So over here, you'll be able to see two blanks of 0, 0. What does this mean? That is, whenever there is a movement in my profit, that is in my MTM or in the absolute value of the contract that I have entered, then if there is an upside movement, so by how much points I would like to move my trailing stop loss up. That's the basic understanding, basic meaning of using a trailing stop loss. That is, currently my stop loss was somewhere around 50%. Now it will get reduced to 40 to 30 to 20 based on the movement, upside movement in my profit. So let us say, let me just keep it as percentage. That is, whenever there is a 30% movement in my profit, that is, whenever from my entry price, the profit moves up by 30%, my stop loss, which was placed at minus 50 over here, at minus 50, would get reduced by 10% over here. That is, if my stop loss, if my entry was at 100 rupees, so just to keep things simpler, let me just keep it in the buy direction. That is, let's say if I am entering into a contract of 100 rupees, now whenever there is a 30% upside movement, that is whenever the price reaches to 30 rupees, that is 130, the stop loss which was at 50 rupees, it will get reduced by 10%. That is, by 60, by 70, whenever there is a 30 point or percentage movement in my profit. So that's the basic meaning of using a trailing stop loss. So I hope this answers your question. Now next up we have a question from Rajesh. So Rajesh asks that I'm a beginner, I do not have a strategy. So does SpeedBot provide a ready-made strategy? To answer a question, let's say I believe that you are an amateur trader and you feel like you need some sort of a profitable or ready-made strategy. So just to make things clear to you, SpeedBot doesn't provide any sort of trading strategies, nor it says that it provides profitable strategies. But let's say if you are just starting out in your algo trading journey, then we have the strategy templates that you can use. So these strategy templates help you to understand the dynamics of the market, how the entries, the exits are being done, how the algos take the trades, how you can backtest this particular bot whose trading logic is already open, and apart from that, how you can forward test it in the live markets. And once you get the conviction, then you can trade it in your demat account based on your understanding. So over here, as you can see that I'm in the template section. In the template section, I'll be able to see some of the bots based on the category, based on your understanding. You can open up any one of the bots. Over here, I've opened this particular bot that is by the name options hedge strategy. So over here, I'll be able to see the description that is on which market condition does it work. And down here, I'll be able to see the logic of it. That is on which days does it run, what kind of call or the put option does it buy. So if I want to get it in my account, I'll just simply click on the build bot button like this. And it will be replicated in my option bot builder. So that's how you can access multiple templates as you like, understand the logic behind it, and tweak the parameters from your end. So next up, we have a question by Krishna. So Krishna asks that what kind of data analytics does SpeedBot provide? So this is a pretty good question. So just to give you a context that algo trading isn't about the execution. So execution is one of the major parts in algo trading. But apart from that, once you execute the trades automatically, once the trades are closed, you have to assess how the algo is doing, how the performance is doing. So over here, let me just open one of the bots that I might have tested. So over here, let me just see. So this is the kind of data analytics we provide for the historical testing, for the forward testing, and likewise for the live deployment. That is whatever capital that you define. Based on that, all the calculations will be done. So mind you, if you are using some minimum required margin to trade your bot, we recommend to add some additional buffer capital as well in order to fight the drawdown. Apart from that, the period for which the bot was being run, the duration, as you can see, the number of positions that the bot took, total profit, the charges, the net profit, annual return, the drawdown that the bot might have faced, and the duration of the drawdown, the day average, profit and loss, the day maximum, minimum. So you will be able to have the historical positions as well. P&L summary, So you can see how your bot has performed on monthly as well as on daily basis. In order to get a conviction, you can also enable this toggle to include the charges. And if you'd like to have the calendar view, then you'll be able to do it from your side. So that's how you'll be able to get this stuff, the kind of data analytics. So let's move on to the next question. Can SpeedBot users place automated stop loss and take profit levels in the equity bot builder? So this question is from Jayesh. So Jayesh asks this question, that is it possible to place automated stop loss and take profit level in the equity bot? So to answer Jayesh's question, let me just open up maybe an equity template to make you understand. So let's say if I create over here, okay, and I continue, and down here, as you can see that in the target and the stop loss, I have two types of target and stop loss that I can place, that is in terms of points, in terms of percentage. So points and percentage, 50 points, like this. That's how you can place the target and stop loss. So these will be automatically checked by the user who has deployed the bot. So this is something that can be checked automatically. So that's how you can place the automated stop loss and target. So let's move on to the next question. So next question, it's from Nisarg. So Nisarg asks that, is it possible to create a range breakout bot in options? Yes, Nisarg, it is possible to create a range breakout bot in options. So in order to make you understand, let me just go to the option bot builder. Let me just rename it as option bot builder. Option bot builder range 3 maybe. And over here, let's say, just to make things simpler, I'm adding the leg for the ATM call option that I need to buy. Then in that case, I'll be adding the range breakout. So over here, let me just say it that from 9:16 to 10 a.m., whenever the high of that particular range is broken, then I'll be buying the call option. That is after 10 o'clock, whenever this condition meets, then I'll be entering into a call option buying. So currently this will be checked on the basis of the option contract. But let's say if I wish to check the condition on the underlying, then I'll be able to do it by ticking off this checkbox, right? So that's how you can create a range breakout bot. Okay, so let us move on to the next question. So next question, it's from Salim. So Salim asks that currently I'm trading in Bankex. So is it possible to get the Bankex execution enabled in the option bot builder? So currently, Salim, to answer the question, we have launched the Bankex execution in the option bot builder, but at the current stage, it is in the beta version. So that's why you'll have to raise a ticket to get your execution being done for the Bankex options. We have it in the Sensex currently supported, so that's not an issue. For the Bankex, you'll have to create a ticket and write to the support team, so they'll get it enabled for you. So let's move on to the next question. Okay, so I have one question from Dr. Shivanand. So he asks that is it possible to create a open equals to high and open equals to low strategy in stocks? Okay. So just to give you a basic understanding, Dr. Shivanand, let me just move on to the equity bot. Open, high, low. So over here, let's say if I go over here and I take one stock, maybe another stock as Infi. So over here, I'll add both the conditions, as the open equals to high would be for the short side, for the short entries, and open equals to low would be for the long entry. So let us say that the opening close of maybe, let's say, whatever time frame that you suggest, that is for the first 5 minutes or 1 minute. Based on that, whenever it crosses above the high or maybe the low, because we are going long, then this will consider the first 5 minute candles close whenever it crosses the low or equals to, okay, yeah, this was not the crossover, this was equals to the low. So this will consider that the current day open equals to low. In that case, will be triggering the condition. And likewise, we'll be doing the same for the short entry with the opposite side. Close equals to high, like this. So these two conditions, whenever these two conditions will trigger, then your positions will be taken accordingly. Whenever throughout the day, whenever these conditions meet, then you'll be able to trigger and execute the positions. Likewise, you can mention whatever target stop loss you'd like to have based on that. So I hope I've made you understand how this thing works. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, so we'll just take 2 to 3 more questions and then we'll wrap today's session. Okay, so next question is from Ashish. So Ashish asks that in my plan, pay as you go, is it necessary to activate my deployed bot daily, or will it take the entries automatically if I have the balance on my SpeedBot account? Okay, so Ashish is currently using the pay as you go plan, and he wants to, so he has deployed one of the bots that he has created. So his question is that will the bot automatically deduct the credits in his wallet, or does he need to deploy the bot on daily basis? So let me just go over here, and let's say that if you have added the money in the wallet, right? So over here, whatever things that you do, that is currently, as you can see, this is the pay as you go plan being active, and whatever things that is, let's say if you are deploying a bot in forward test, or if you are back testing it from your side, in that case, whatever credits that will be charged, that will be automatically be deducted by the bot itself. You need not worry about deploying the bot on daily basis. So that's how easy it is. So I hope that I've answered your question, Ashish. Okay, so next question is, what are the new features that are upcoming on SpeedBot? So just to give you a context of what we'll be launching in the coming weeks, First of all, like I mentioned today, that you'll be able to use the delta based contract selection. So apart from that, more we'll be talking about the delta part, that is, we'll be creating some videos around the delta segment, how you can create such bots and execute it. So we'll forward test it on the live data. Apart from that, we'll be launching some of the features in the Greek segment, given the users' interest in this regards. So there are a lot of features in this segment that we'll be launching. This question was from Wasim. Okay, so next question, it's from Mahesh. So Mahesh asked that I have a strategy in futures. How can I create an algo on SpeedBot? Okay, so Mahesh, recently we have launched the futures algo creation in the option bot builder itself. So over here, let me just delete this. And over here, as you can see, a button by the name future leg. So it is in the beta version currently. Let's say if you would like to trade in Nifty futures, then you'll be able to do it. Whatever lot that you'd like to define, based on that, you'll be able to go long and short. So currently the current month expiry and the next month expiry you can use. And let's say if you have some set of indicators that you'd like to check the condition on, and based on those conditions, once they are triggered, then you'll be able to get the execution. So this is something that we had recently launched, so it can be of use for you, I believe. And if you face any sort of issues, then you can just go over here and click on the develop with experts feature, and you can just mention that I want to create my futures bot, and you can raise a ticket to us. If you want to upload some files, then we'll be able to do it, and that's how you can create a query. So our team will be happy to connect you. Right. Okay, so we have another question or a suggestion from Dr. Shivanand. So he says, is it possible to store more templates on the website? It helps for new users. Of course, we can, the feedback that you have mentioned, of course, this is something that we can ask the team to build it from their end. If you have some suggestions that is based on which type of category or which type of segment would you like to have the templates, then you can just type it in the chat box. So I can just forward those ideas with the team as well, if you have any. So I do not know whether you have explored maybe SpeedBot this week or not, but this week we have launched a few more templates on SpeedBot, and those are some indicator based templates, as we got a lot of queries in this regards. But if you have any sort of suggestions from your side that, okay, I want a template on this particular thesis or theory, then maybe we can ask the team to enable it from their end. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Shivanand. All right, then. I guess this calls for a day. So thank you for those of you who have joined in. We are very grateful to answer each and every one of your questions. And next week, we'll be coming up with some of the new features and launching some of the videos as well by end of this week. So thank you for tuning in, and I hope to see you in the next session. Thank you so much. Have a great day.